All right, new robot mower to try. We do have a couple running here at the moment. We've got the Goat, which has been running reasonably flawlessly in this top section here. The Cowal, I need to have a play with that. We hadn't been getting on all that well lately. I will have a bit more time now to check that it's set up correctly. But we've got the Luba 2. I didn't try the Luba 1. Now this is the Luba 2 all-wheel drive 3000. So I guess that's the area that it can cover. I mean, unfortunately, we're headed into the coolest months and there's not going to be a... Video guarding. Okay, be quiet. That's just the Goat. Yeah, unfortunately, we're heading into the cooler months. There's not going to be a ton to mow, but at least we'll be able to get some time on these under our belt before we come into the next growing season and really test them out. Charge before use. Awesome. It would have made sense if I brought something to cut the box. Yeah. Now this video is just going to be me opening this thing up, setting it up, seeing how easy it is to set up with no prior knowledge of how this thing works. This is the successor to the Luba. I didn't try the Luba, so I know nothing about them. I haven't even looked into it. I kind of like to go into these things raw just to see how intuitive they are. Now what I do know is it is a wire-free robot mower. I think it uses some sort of RTK positioning, which I believe this needs to be mounted somewhere. This talks to the robot, lets it know where it is. Again, we're going to find out together. What do we got here? Is that the manual? We might actually use that because, as I said, I know nothing about this. Looks like a safety key. Looks like antenna. Feel like that's a bumper. A lot of these robot mowers have some sort of bumper system where if it senses that it's bumped something, that's how it tells that it's got to go back. Power supply. Hopefully this has an Aussie plug on it. I have tried multiple of these now that haven't come with an Aussie plug. This one does. We're off to a good start. 3D vision module installed on top of the Luba. Okay, so we have to put that on top of the robot mower. So it must have cameras as well as the bumpers, as well as, what would you call that? I think it's RTK that hooks up to the satellites to enable this machine to know where it is. What is that? No idea. We will find out together. Oh! Now, as I said before, I didn't try the original Luba. I did think it looked kind of funky. I've seen a lot of social media posts on the Luba now, so it doesn't look as wacky as I initially thought, but let me get it out. Give you an idea of what I'm talking about. It has remote control car vibes, in my opinion. Suspension on the front. Probably could have just opened it instead of ripping it, but here we are. So yeah, as you can see, it's quite a bizarre looking machine. Particularly these front wheels. It is all-wheel drive, has suspension, but these wheels, I thought they were a rubberized sort of a wheel, but it's more of a hard plastic, and they're rollers which roll the opposite way to the wheel. So I guess that means that it can move quite easily without tearing up the lawn. I'm assuming that's the idea behind it. But yeah, in the videos I'd seen they looked rubber, but it's more of a hard plastic. And they go like that. Interesting. Rubber rear wheels, which do feel quite grippy. We do have some more stuff in the box. Oh. So here is our charging station. It also has another box with what says it's a garage, so I assume it's some sort of cover for it. Let's get all this put together, then get it on charge so we can actually use it. Instructions. Does it come with tools? So for our first trick, we're going to be installing the vision module. I think that's what they call it. I'm assuming it's some sort of 3D camera that helps tell it what is around it. Again, all of these assumptions, very intentional that I've gone into this with no knowledge. I do just want to see how the slightly below average person can set this up. Now, if you don't have a single tool in your life, Do not fret because it looks like they're all covered here. It's not a bad little tool. We've got a Phillips head screwdriver bit on one end and Allen key bit on the other. Just have to remove these 4 bolts or screws, whatever you want to call them. Let's try not to lose them. We have 2 connectors there, which look like they marry up very nicely with these. Slot in. Okay, that was easy. And that just goes on there. All right, good start. So we don't need this cover. We do need the screws though. Now what I will say while I'm screwing these up is that initial impressions, and initial impressions aren't everything, but it feels quality, feels and looks well made. Sometimes appearances can be deceiving. It's not a budget priced item though, so that is what you would expect. But no, like genuinely it looks really well made and engineered just from a visual standpoint and physical standpoint. Vision module on. Step 2, install the bumper. How do I know this is the right way? Does it matter? There is some Mammotion text there, so that lets you know the orientation. Plug it in. Oh. And one just slots in. Okay, so it clips in. All the screws do here is look like stop it from being able to be quick released. Now I've got to say my perception of it from what I had seen of it in videos on social media of it were just, it looked a little bit toy-like, but yeah, in the flesh, very different perspective. Also a good time to note, I am not being paid for this. This unit is on loan just for me to test out. That's what I do, I test out tools. So I don't have to say, and the benefit there is I don't have to tell you that I love it if I don't love it. Installing security key. So we have 2 security keys. Be quiet you. I don't know if one's a spare or one goes somewhere else, but this one just slots in the rear end here. Get your mind out of the gutter. Install the RTK reference station and charging station. So you've got an option for a SIM card. I might go and install this charging station now. I'm going to move the co-wall out of the way for the minute. I will reposition it somewhere else because I do need to reset that one up anyway. Ugh. Oh my God, have a look at the spider. Very scientific leveling process here. That'll do, hopefully. Let's do it in the order that they say. This is the RTK reference station, which basically means it talks to a form of GPS or, I mean, I don't know the science behind it or whatever, but that hurt. You have an antenna underneath here. Screw that in. We have this fork looking thing. Do we need these now? I think we need these now. Okay, we've got the forky thing. Okay, so I think we join these 2 poles. Yes, we have a screw point there. There's QR codes all over these things, so I think if you get stuck, it'll probably tell you what to do anyway. There's a screw point on one of those. This is quite high, actually. Then we mount the RTK reference station on top of that. Have to feed the cable for that through here first. Come on, baby. There we go. Pull it all the way through, maybe. There is a certain way this has to orientate to slip on. And then I think we just screw this up. Not like, you know, not like mess up. I mean, just like screw this up. It does call for a washer now. Or something that looks like a washer in here. So I think then we fork this into there. And then let's try and fork it in. Oh, that goes in nicely, actually. It's quite a joy to do. Next, we have these plastic screw pegs, I guess you'd call them, to secure it. Secure this charging station into the ground. Maybe we'll clear a bit more rock. Pull you out. So first tip would be if you can find some even ground where you can get these short pegs in, that would be advisable. I mean, it's not going to need much to keep it in place, let's be honest. There we go. Got a little bit of purchase now. Oh, barely any. All right, that looks better. I seem to have some extra stuff. Okay. So there's some cables at the back that it now tells me I need to feed under the charging station, which would have, to me, made more sense to do prior to securing it. And now I haven't got a visual on it. They're going to stay there. Okay, so this cable, that's what those cable clips are obviously for. So yeah, so just snap these on around the pole, securing the cable for the RTK reference station. There's 2 cables coming out of the base station, and you just connect those up. One to the RTK reference station. All right, so they've ticked a couple of boxes here with the power supply. We do have an Australian plug on it, and we do have an ability to mount it on to the wall there with some prefix spots. Okay, they are attached. I'm pretty lucky I have a power point right here, but there is quite a bit of length there. There is an optional wall mount for the RTK reference station, which would probably be a better option. I feel like having it up higher would lead to less interference, but yeah, so that's, I think, the setup of the physical stuff complete. I think we've just got to put it on charge now. And it looks like it just backs onto here. You happy there? You be quiet. We've got some flashing. Sounds good. Oh, some red flashing lights, a green flashing light. What is that? So that is the physical setup of the Luba 2 complete. Actually, no, it isn't. I didn't set up the garage. I don't know if that's an optional extra. Hopefully it just clicks on over the top. Let's have a look. Looks like a big garbage bin lid. In that box also was the wall mount, so if we have any trouble, do I really want to be drilling holes? I'll have to figure that out. Anyway, if we have any troubles with the RTK reference station there, we might look at mounting it. Now, this does look pretty simple. I think just a couple of, oh, very easy, just screw these in. Kind of does hide all its beauty though. So that is the Luba 2 set up now. I've got to wait for it to charge before I can physically set it up and see how that process goes. Now I haven't 1000% decided where I want it to be cutting, but I do have the goat cutting this section here. It's lost a lot of colour because I have sprayed for broadleaf weeds, as well as obviously we're coming into the cooler months. The co-wall was doing down there, so either I'll set the Luba up down there for the minute, or potentially around that section there in front of the chicken coop. Rightio, welcome back. It's a couple of days after I physically installed this thing. It was the end of the day. I set it up super quickly and just got it going. I don't think I set it up properly because it didn't know where home was. So we're going to walk through how to set this thing up. I've downloaded the Mammotion app. Mammotion, not sure how you say it. I'm going to try and give you a walkthrough of this. Hopefully we have no hiccups. Hopefully it's a simple process. First we're going to add the robot, and okay, so 2 available devices have come up. First one being the reference station, which is there. We might as well add that first. Gonna need my Wi-Fi password, of course. Okay, that's binded successfully, which is good. Now let's, how do we add another one? Device. There we go, add robot. Luba 2. So we select the robot, add device. Hopefully it just pops up. I'm not sure if it's on actually. Might have to turn it on, which is a long press. Wait for it. So it's got a little green light there, which lets you know if it's on or not. I'll reload that. There we go, it pops up. So now both the robot as well as the reference station look like they're connected. We've got that. We'll make sure they're updated. I did update them. Yes, they look like they're updated. It'll tell you here if it does need an update. If you just click on that little gear there. So the reference station is good. Robot is also good. Yeah, it'll have a, oh no. There you go. Needs an update. See that little arrow there? So we press that, adding stuff. And oh, there you go, it's actually quite quick. That was 60, 70, well, super quick. That last 1%, eh? Looks like it's the same app version number, so I don't know what the go is there, but I feel like it lied to me about the percentage. Oh, it's cold in the shade here. Come on, man. I'll leave that there for a sec while I stand in the sun. Oh. Upgrade is successful. We've hooked up our robot as well as our reference station to the app. We're going to try and create a map now. Hopefully we can do that with no hiccups. I'm going to press create a map. Looks like it knows where its base station is there as well as the RTK reference station. You might not be able to see that, but there's a little circle with RTK in the middle there. We're going to go create area. please ensure that task areas are clear of wires to allow uninterrupted work for the robot. I'm not sure what wires we're talking about, but hey, sure. Please manually control the Luba 2 to the perimeter of the target lawn first, then click play to map task area. So I guess we just drive it to the boundary of perimeter of where we want to cut. And you can do that. You'll see, it doesn't tell you how to drive it. It's there's two little circle icons there, which are how you drive it. It's a little remote control now. So I'll just drive it out of there. And then we turn it like that. At least we're in the sun now. Now I want to do multiple maps here. I've got the goat, the Ecovacs goat, doing this section here. The first area I want to map is just kind of from that beacon down there and maybe to about the woodshed. So that's what we'll try and do now. Now if you are doing a larger area, I would recommend upping the speed for manual control. The max is 1.2 meters a second, but in bigger open areas it's much nicer than the slower mode. We've reached the perimeter. Click to create.
Task area planning.
So now my assumption is I just drive it around the perimeter. Let's go this way, straight out here. And that speed's pretty good. So yeah, it's drawing the map as I go. This is quite a bit faster than all the other robot mowers that I have tried for the manual control of it anyway. I think it's connected via Bluetooth, so you probably have to stick within 5 meters of it. Oh, I wasn't even at the full speed actually. There's the full speed there. You really got to push your thumb forward to get to that speed. So absolutely plenty of speed available. Will we go around that rock? We'll go down here. It's always interesting to see, once you do a perimeter with these robot mowers, how close they will then go to doing the perimeter. That's something you've got to keep in mind, that yes, this is going to be mowing the lawn for you, but you're still going to have to do your edging. We'll try and avoid these rocks. Oh, I did say about to the woodshed, so we'll shoot straight up here now. Good speed, I do like it. So we'll get it going just shy of the ryegrass here. Oop. And maybe back around this tree. And now I'm going to try and get it to connect up to that red dot there, which is where we started. And I think once I do that, it'll give me the option to finish. At the moment, that tick there is grey. Once I go over this spot here, I think it'll turn to green and I'll be able to finish. I feel like there we go. So it's turned to green because I've gone over where I started. We're going to press finish on that.
Task area complete.
So if that was all you were doing and you just want to get mowing, I think you could do it there and just go finish. But we're going to continue mapping because I have this large gum tree here. I don't want it going around the base of it where the roots are. So we're going to make a no-go zone for that. We're going to select no-go zone. Manually control it to the perimeter of the no-go zone and then press play. Now you can see these roots here, which the mower will scrape on if it's going over them. So we're just going to make a no-go zone around that area there. We're going to press play again.
No-go zone planning.
So, okay, let's control it around there. Then like we did before, you can see where we started. We'll just drive straight over that point. I don't know what happens if you get it wrong. Mapping completed, got it. Finish.
No-go zone complete.
I don't think I've got any more no-go zones in this section anyway. We are going to continue mapping though because I want to do multiple areas. To do multiple areas, I think we need a channel between those areas. I believe. I could be wrong. We're going to do that now. Control Luba 2 into a task area first, then click to add a channel. Okay, so we're going to go... This is my assumption. Like I said, I want to do this and see how intuitive this thing is. Well, it says we're in the task area. Manually control Luba 2 into a task area first, then click play to add channel. Do we need to do another area first? Maybe. Let's get out of that. I think we need to do another area first before we create the channel. So we're going to create an area. Then we're going to go to our new perimeter. I don't know if these can overlap, but we're going to try to. To add a new task area, ensure robot is not inside any of the current areas. Okay, so no, they can't overlap by the look of it. Replicate what we did previously with the first area. Probably 80 meters from the RTK reference station, and I'm not sure how far we can be from it. I'm sure it'll let us know though. Say hello to the chickens. So we've mapped out our second area next to the first one. We can finish that.
Task area complete.
We're going to press continue mapping because we have a few no-go zones here. With these trees, let's map them out. I think that's my no-go zones complete. We're going to continue mapping and we're going to put a channel now. We're going to create a channel now, which I think just tells it where you want it to transport from one area to the next. Could be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking. Manually control Luba 2 to the target area to add channel. I mean, I guess, are we in it now? I don't know how long the channel's got to be, but let's try.
Channel planning.
Please control Luba 2 to another task area, which is just over here. Oh, there you go. So as soon as I drove over that little section there, it just told me it was complete. Finish.
Channel complete.
All right, we're going to finish for now because we've set up 2 areas to mow. We've set up multiple no-go zones. So that will be a good test to see, you know, how it goes. Finish. Now it kind of just gives you the option to mow, I believe. I think I could mow right now, but first I want to test if it knows where the home base is, because when I set it up super quickly last time, it didn't actually know where home was. But again, I was just mucking around last time, just trying to get it mowing super quick. So is that recharge? Return to charge, confirm. There is no channel between the charging area and a task area. I guess we need to... I would have thought that it would prompt you to do that first. Let's go and try and create a channel from the first task area to the charging station. Okay, so it says a channel is added to connect various task areas or the charging area. Yeah, I would have thought it would have prompted you to do that, but let's see if we just drive back to the station now. And then do I have to back it in or just get it near the station? Looks like I might have to back it in. Oh, mapping complete.
Channel complete.
Finish. So I think that worked. Let's see if it'll go to home now.
Start recharging.
That's promising. So not all that intuitive from what I've seen anyway, in terms of the fact that you have to create a channel from the task area to the charging station. But once I knew that, to actually complete it, it was quite simple. They do recommend you have it on super flat ground. This isn't super flat, obviously, there, but the four-wheel drive seems to have no issue getting in there.
Start charging.
Okay, that's very promising. It's actually the next day again. I just thought I'd leave it to fully charge up and be ready to go. We are going to see what it's like to mow now, though. It's fully charged up. It is ready. We've got our 2 areas. I assume we just press play. Robot is outside the designated area. Well, of course it is. It's charging. I'm not sure what that meant, but anyway. Now I'm going to manually do this. So what I want to do is to be able to select that zone, because that zone needs a mow. There's lots of obstacles there. Mow. Here we go. We can turn the task speed up. I like watching it go super fast. We'll start it with a perimeter lap, so you can pick how many it does. No-go zone mowing laps. 1 as well. We're doing zigzag first, so you can pick if it does the perimeter or the mowing first. Or, sorry, the perimeter or the inside of the perimeter. This is the thing I wanted. to be able to pick which area. How do I change that? Do I just go in there? Oh, enlarge that. Okay, so you can select all, or what I'm going to do is area 2. That's all I want it to do at the moment. Confirm. It says it's 560 square meters and 104 minutes. Let's see how it goes. If it is the first time mowing and it's a little bit overgrown, mow it a little bit higher, but it'll be fine. Oh, I'm not sure what height I set it at. Oop. Let's see what the height was. 45 mil height, yeah, that's fine. Let's see if I can find where to go. The section is over there. And it's off. It's kind of like having another pet just roaming around the place. I mean, you don't have to feed it or anything, but... So this is where the zone starts, right at the end of the rye, so I imagine it'll start mowing any second. Where's it going to start? Quite a few no-go zones here because of the rocks, the fire pit area. I might pick up some of the sticks as it goes. I haven't cleaned up the sticks here for a while. This zone goes to that tree there, so I imagine it's going to stop in a second and maybe start mowing. It shouldn't be, there we go, just as predicted. It's off. I should really clear this path of these things. I do wonder how it will go in this section because there's, you know, big gum trees here constantly dropping sticks. I don't really like sticks. I'll try and keep on top of the major ones. Lots of bark here. How good's this idea? I was constantly bending down picking up sticks, but this works surprisingly well. Make good kindling too. So it hasn't got trapped on anything yet. Obviously I've moved a lot of the sticks, which I haven't done in this section for a few weeks, so it did need a little cleanup. It will be tested in that section there, like from sort of that line there downwards. So plenty of grass there without lots of interruptions with sticks and that sort of thing. Once I've given this machine a really good go, I will be doing a full review of it, but I just wanted to see what it was like to get up and running, what the installation process is like, what the software is like. And while I don't think it's perfect and super obvious how to do everything, I was able to work it out. And now that I've worked it out, I feel like I've got a handle on it. The setup seems to be the most work with all of these robot mowers. All right, so I'm going to leave that thing going for a bit. Like I said, going to do a full review on this thing once I've given it some real time. So yeah, more to come on this. I've got to say, early thoughts are, I like it, I'm impressed, but very early days, I'll have much more on it. Make sure you're following Turf and Tools.